Ramana Maharshi's teachings are deep and profound. Listen, reflect, and deeply meditate. I'm Richard Clarke. I'm reviewing and commenting on the book Talks with Sri Ramana Maharshi. Today is from Talk 636. Mrs. Kelly Hack asked if the waking and dream states might be imagined to be excursions from the natural state of the self. Maharshi, there must be a place for excursions. The place must also lie outside oneself. It is not possible in the true nature of the self. Questioner, but I meant that it might be imagined to be so. Maharshi, one might as well imagine the true nature of the self. Questioner, the illustration of the screen is very beautiful. Maharshi, the cinema screen is not sentient and so requires a seer, whereas the screen of the self includes the seer and the seen. Rather, it is full of light. The pictures of the cinema show cannot be seen without the help of darkness, for you cannot have a show in broad daylight. Similarly, the mind thinks thoughts and sees objects owing to an underlying ignorance, avidya. The self is pure knowledge, pure light, where there is no duality. Duality implies ignorance. The knowledge of the self is beyond relative knowledge and ignorance. The light of the self is beyond the ordinary light and darkness. The self is all, alone. In this dialogue, Mrs. Kelly Hack suggests that the waking and dream states might be imagined as excursions away from the natural state of the self. She's wondering if these everyday experiences could be seen as temporary movements, departures from our true nature. Sri Ramana Maharshi responds immediately by saying that for there to be an excursion, there must be a place to go, and that place would have to be outside of the self. But in truth, nothing lies outside the self. The self is not located in a particular spot, and there is nowhere else it needs to go or can go. So even to imagine an excursion implies duality, a false division between self and something else. And that, Sri Ramana points out, contradicts the nature of the self. When the questioner replies, but I meant it to be imagined that way, the Maharshi doesn't accept the premise. He says one might as well imagine the true nature of the self, meaning if we're going to use imagination as a tool, then why not imagine what is real instead of getting lost in ideas about separation and change? His answer points us back to what is always present, consciousness itself. rather than encouraging speculations about states or conditions. The conversation then moves to a metaphor the questioner likes, the movie screen. She finds it beautiful, likely because it helps show how the self remains unaffected while images, experiences appear and disappear. Ramana agrees with the metaphor but goes further. He says the self is not just a passive background like the cinema screen. The movie screen is inert. It needs someone to see it. But the self includes both the seer and the seen. It is the light by which seeing happens. And here he makes a deeper point. In a movie theater, we need darkness to see the film. That darkness represents ignorance. Without ignorance, there is no show. Similarly, the mind only seems to operate, only seems to have thoughts and perceive objects because of a basic misperception, the sense of separation from the self. Sri Ramana Maharshi then clarifies what the self is. It's pure awareness, beyond light and dark, beyond knowledge and ignorance. The self doesn't depend on anything. It doesn't require the mind to function. It doesn't come and go. It just is, alone, whole, and undivided. All duality, like dream versus waking, ignorance versus knowledge, is false from the standpoint of the self. What you are in truth is this ever-present light of awareness. So know yourself and be always free and at peace. In 40 Verses on Reality, Ramana Maharshi explains the nature of the self, the ultimate reality, and self-inquiry. My new book, with my comments and inquiry questions, opens these teachings up and brings them into your practice and experience. Available now from Amazon. Link in the video description. These videos bring Ramana's teachings into your direct experience. Click subscribe to see more. Click thumbs up to like, and send questions and start a dialogue with a comment.